Alright, what is going on? Hope you're having a great and wonderful day. Welcome back to the JetEye gaming channel. My name is Jet, and today we're gonna get back into more Atlas servers. The next thing we're gonna do today is put up the territory maps. What territory maps is gonna do is, if you've ever played on the official servers, you can see where every time somebody puts a claim flag down, whether it's yours, whether it's another company's, and as long as you have that area of the map uncovered. Also, we're going to show you how to run a sort of web page on your server that will display your map and all of the claims on it. And there is currently a flaw that I'm trying to work out that shows all of your ships and all of the beds on there as well, which is not a good thing in any case for at least a PvP server, because then you're going to know where everybody is at. But without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so let's get started. The very first thing that you're gonna need to do is download the files that we're gonna be looking at today. I'll leave the link in the description, but if you need a search for this file, all you gotta do is type in Atlas territory map GitHub. Bam. It's the very first link. Then you can go ahead and clone or download and click download zip. Bam. I've already got it downloaded, so we're gonna use what we've already downloaded. I'm gonna go scroll through my files here, and now we're gonna find Atlas territory map master. I'm gonna use 7-zip. You can use any extractor that you want. We're gonna extract it right to Atlas territory map master, and you can put it anywhere you want as well. So we're gonna come back up here. Maybe at the bottom. Yep, it's at the bottom. Open that up. First thing you're gonna want to do is edit the configuration file. Now, if you can edit this, by all means, go ahead. I am going to use Notepad++, which is going to make it look nice and pretty. All right. What you need is information here. Enable tile generation. If you are going to use the web application for showing the map, you need to set this to true. We're going to set this to true because that's the next thing that we're going to actually work on. Oh yeah. All right. So host, don't worry about it. Port. You're going to need to forward this port to your router. So it forwards to your public IP address. That's called port forwarding. Once you've done that, everybody who plays on your server will actually get the information for your claims that are on your server. So the first thing here is the URL. URL is going to be the direct link to your Redis server. In this case only, it's going to be localhost. Now, remember, this is only relevant to the machine that you're going to run this file on. So it doesn't have to be a public IP address. So like right now, localhost is fine. If you set this up and run it this way, it's gonna pick up. Okay. So we used the default settings from the server grid editor. So this is gonna point to your Redis server. All right. Now you gotta make sure also that your server X and Y match, your grid size matches, and everything else here you can leave alone. But our grid size is 2x2. Last I checked. That's pretty much all the information that you're gonna need. Save that file. Now, what you're gonna have to do is ensure that your Redis server is running. We're gonna go back up to the PC in D drive, down Atlas server, Atlas tools, Redis database, and start the Redis server now. I made a little bit of configuration changes because I was doing some testing. So all I've got to do is go in here, we gotta make it require a password, and we gotta make sure our port's correct. I believe I set it to 6380, so we're gonna go up. All right. There, port 6379. Okay, that's set correct. Save it, and then we're gonna run Redis server start. Bam, we have a Redis server. Once the Redis server is started, you can go back over and run your territory map. That's not the one. The one that we want to run is Atlas territory map master, and run the exe file. Bam. Make sure that this opens within your firewall for Windows, and there we go. That's all you need. Again, make sure that 8881 is forwarded on your router. All in all, you're gonna need two of these forwarded to your router. Now, once you have this running, you can start this portion up, this territory map up, before or after you start your server grid. So we're gonna go in here and we're gonna run a single server on Atlas. But before we even do that, let's go ahead and do the next portion, which is the Atlas map viewer. Again, in order to find this, all you need to do is type Atlas map viewer GitHub. There it is. Very first one. All right, it seems I didn't have the Atlas map viewer downloaded, so we're gonna go ahead and download it now. Hit save. It should take a few seconds and it'll populate. Now, as you can see here, this is gonna keep moving and moving. What's it doing? It's going to pull all the information from your Redis server to throw it onto your map in-game, as well as add it to the Atlas map viewer. So give it a moment. Let's let it download. Okay, instead of just sitting here and waiting for it to finish download, there is another step that we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to go in the server grid editor and load project. We're gonna have to do our 2x2 server project here. There it goes. This information is going to be required. You're gonna have to go in there, edit. You're gonna export Slippy map. It says optional. Save it, point it to wherever you want to save it, and then hit OK. This part takes a very long time as well, so we can do this while we're waiting for that stuff to download. Now, what you're gonna want to do is save it into the area. Let's say you were going to set up your map viewer on the D drive. So you're going to your D drive, make a new folder, map viewer, right? There we go. And just extract that export. Like I said, this is going to take a long time because there's a lot of information that's going to be processed here. It's going to get all the zoom information. It'll act just like you were looking at Google Maps and such. So this is going to take a while. And that's gonna take a while. So all right, so we've got everything downloaded here, and also our map is done. So let's go ahead and load this up, show it in folder, and then we're gonna extract it using 7-zip. Again, you can use anything you want and put it anywhere that you want. That is your choice. Now, remember that we did some things. When we extracted the Slippy maps, we went into D map viewer. And these are the files that we're going to need. So in the downloads, we're going to go in and pull the Atlas server or map viewer there, map viewer master. All right, take all this information out of here, copy it, map viewer. Again, you can name the folder anything you want. So these folders here, 0 through 6, are the files that we exported from the server grid editor. These are the Slippy maps. We're gonna take that, copy it. Actually, we're just gonna cut, and then we'll place it. Source www tiles. As you can see, it goes from 1 to 6. All you gotta do is paste it here, and it's gonna ask you if you want to overwrite. You're gonna make sure that you overwrite everything as it asks. If it asks. There we go. We're gonna replace 5,461 files. And this is gonna take a minute. All right. So now that we're done, the next thing we're gonna do is come over and edit the config file. Again, we're going to use Notepad++. Okay, what you're gonna have to make sure here, your port's fine. Your Redis address. This information needs to be accurate. It's accurate here because our Redis server is going to be on this same computer. Now, if you have Redis on a different computer, you're gonna have to point it to that IP address. If you changed the port, you're gonna have to change the port on here as well. Should be easy stuff by now. Hopefully you are picking up what I'm putting down. And we're gonna go in here into source www and edit the config.js as well. Let's do it under Notepad. All right, here you got to change the server size. We've got a 2x2. That's all you need. Everything else should be the same. Save it. Bam. Now, what you can actually do is, even without the game running or the Atlas server running, you can actually load this up. Allow access. Let it do its Redis scan for a minute. Remember, the port for this is listing on 88880. So we're gonna do localhost 88880. Was 3 8s. There. So what happened? The exact way that we had the map when we exported it is the exact way that it's going to show up. We didn't clear any of this stuff out, so it's going to show up on there. But now we have the Slippy map on a website. Now, if you forwarded ports 8880 and 8881 to your computer, you would be able to log in to this site from outside and see this map. So everybody who plays on your server can actually see the map. So the problem that we have though is beds and ship. Anybody can access this site if they know the URL and the port. And you get to see beds and ships and exactly where they're located. We don't have anything made on this server, so you're not going to see anything on there. However, it becomes a problem if you are going to run a PvP server. You don't want everybody to see everybody's locations all the time. It'd be kind of cheating. So I'm working with somebody right now who knows a little bit more about Node.js than I do to remove that specific information. Now, if you know some more information and or have some other ideas on how to implement this, then by all means. I do know that there are other ways to show the map. There is another server, a huge server. Right now they're doing 9x9. They're moving up to 11x11 after the big Atlas patch that's getting pushed this month. For his server, you go into his website, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can look at. Top top companies. I think top companies will show up right here if there's people actually playing on your server. And then his map though is a globe. It's like wrapped around, which is pretty freaking cool. I don't have the skills and ability to do that, nor the time. So if anybody's got those skills, then you can make that happen. And also, you can fiddle with the files and, you know, throw them into a text editor, or not a text editor, an image editor, and make it look all pretty like an old school map. That's what I'm going to try to do with our server, is to turn it into a nice, maybe old map. Everything will be like a canvas background over leather, and it'll be all like crumpled up and stuff. That's the way I'm gonna try to do mine. How it turns out, however, I am unsure. But anyways, we have the map running here. If you had any kind of landmarkers, it'll show it as well. So you can go ahead and try that on your server. Again, I've had some questions about running a server on a VPS. If you don't know what VPS is, then you probably don't need to know the rest of this information. But VPS is a virtual private server that you can rent. And normally they let you do whatever you want on those things. The thing is, those things cost a bit of money, and you're very limited on how much space, how much RAM, how much CPU that they're going to provide you. So you'll probably not be able to run more than maybe one server. Remember, one server is going to take up about 4 to 5 gigabytes of RAM. And as far as CPU rise, I'll have to do the math to see what actually each server is running. There's the gist of it. How to get this map up and running, and also how to get your terror talkers. Yes, I can speak well today. Territory maps, which will show you everything. So the way this is actually, let's go to the official map. PlayAtlas.com. The developers of this game have their own setup. So you click one of these, it's going to pop up with the map. Exact same map, had the same logo and everything, but this pops up on the side. You can program this on your, if you know a little bit about Node.js, program that, and you can see that that little button that allows you to see people's beds and stuff is not there. Now, you can zoom into this all the way you want. Each one of those circles is a different company's claim. Claims can be put down by a flag and a bed. Has to be a combination of both. Now, with the new system, the new claim system that is coming out soon, you won't need a flag down in order to put a bed down, and then that bed will actually probably pop up like this. But with the way things are, you have to have, like in the lawless region, you can put a bed down, but it's going to decay and you won't be able to use it after a certain amount of time. But if you put a flag down and then the bed down, then that bed will stay there permanently. The flag on PVE can be contested after a certain amount of time. We won't get into all of that. Anyways, there you have it. That is how you get this nice and spiffy map going. If you've got any questions, again, link down below for the Discord for support. Within that Discord also is the information for our Atlas server. That information is going to be down there as well. I also stream on twitch.tv/TyJetEye. That link is down in this description also. Mostly right now I do Atlas. If you want to see me get my butt kicked by a couple of ships at the dams, swing on by. And also I have another channel called TyJetEye, which mostly at this point has a whole bunch of video uploads for my live stream. So there's not much content there currently, but we're going to work on putting some more quality stuff on it. Anyways, again, if you need help with any of this, just let me know. I also am a information technology specialist. Is my job, so I know a little bit about computers. You can ask me just about anything you want. All of that stuff in the Discord channel. Anyways, thank you for coming by. Hope you all have a great and wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed the series and want to see more. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the bell icon, you know, sacrifice your first virgin or whatever. Anyways, we'll see you all next time. Peace.